Right. Good evening, grade 11s. Good evening, grade 11s. Hope you're all well. Just come off our hectic grade 12 prep session. So let's not waste any time. Whoever's here is here. I'm not going live on TikTok because obviously they're not going to see what's on my screen until I can sort that out with the streaming. But for now, this is where we are. Okay. So the whole purpose of tonight's session is for me, I'm just going to be going through some items that I know does come up very often for your final papers. Okay, so please just take note of these things. I'm gonna say this. Don't say after this session, yes, but Mr. Hembry said this is what we must know. No, no, no. I'm showing you what generally I know comes in the papers. How they ask it is going to be different, right? The wording I can't help you with. That you're going to have to go check through past papers. And all you have to do, grade 11, is go to my last video, which was my prep video, right, where I gave you all those tips. Go into that video, go into the description, go to the past papers, go work through that. Trust me, especially that 2023 paper. I was going through that in class today with a few learners. It's going to help you. Okay, so your final paper will be broken up into different sections, right? So section A will usually be on file and computer management. So I just want to open up something here, and maybe I'm just going to look at one of the past papers so I can show you. Let's get that one. Okay, so let me just copy this quickly, and then I can open that, and then we can take it from there. So let's see what that looks like. And let's see if I can share that with you. So that you can see what that looks like. Okay. Is that the one? No. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Right. So here we have typical example of what you will find. Your data files. Okay. So now we're inside of our data files, and section A usually deals with file and computer or file management, computer management, whichever the way they're going to be mentioning it. However, what's important here is this is working generally with the files. So, and I'm going to be ticking off as I go along so I can make sure that I'm on track with all of this. This is important because with the DBE, what they would do is they would have to extract the files and folders and things like that. So you need to know, and I'm going to go through this now, you need to know how to go and obviously create a new folder, right? Now it sounds like, oh, so you're just going through the basics. Yes, you must know the basics. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to call it media files. Done. Okay. So I've added a new folder. Now you see here at the bottom, I've got a zip folder. Okay. You need to know how to zip and to unzip. So if I right click on this, can you see I've got extract all? Okay. That means I'm now going to unzip this. It's going to ask me, where do I want it to go? If I just wanted to stay inside this folder, I'm just going to leave that on top, click extract, and there it's done. And there you can see there's the unzipped. In the same way, when I want to zip, I can just right click on it. And what am I going to do? I can go compress to and then indicate zip file. And there you can see it just verifies the name. I can change it if I want to and hit enter. Okay. So Can you see there now? I must know how to extract, how to zip and unzip. Okay. The next thing I need to know how to do is to just be renaming files. All right. So remember, I can right click on a file. I can go and rename. I can go into the file itself and go file save as, but know how to rename. So I can go in here. I can say rename, and I'm going to go rename sheet 1. And there we go. I've renamed that. All right. Please, if they ask you, I hope you're listening carefully to me. If they ask you to rename a file, they will give you the name that they want. So, type it in exactly as they have it. So if they've got underscores or dashes or whatever it is, type it in exactly as it is in your paper. Okay. Another one that comes up is this. So up here, you have your sort. They can ask you to sort the contents of a folder by name, by date, by type. You can see you can sort it by size, authors, ascending, descending. You can group it as well. Now you might ask, but now, sir, if we do that, how are we going to give the proof? Well, you're going to give the proof by taking a screenshot. So listen carefully to me. If they ask you to do those things, they will then ask you to take a screenshot of what you've done and to paste it into another document. Okay? That is normal. So you're going to do your sorting. So for example, here, I can go and sort it according to type. I'm going to make it descending, and I'm going to group it by name. So now I can go and take a screenshot, and I can go and paste it in whichever document I'm working with. Okay, and they'll tell you which one. Another one is to change the view. And the one that's important is here under show. To show what? File extensions and hidden items. Those are things that they ask. Now, they can also ask you, you see these headings over here for the columns? They can ask you to add another one in or to remove one of these. So how do we do that? Well, we can just right click on any one of them. And you see the ones that are ticked? These are the ones that are actually up here. So if I take out type, can you see it disappears? I can put it back. I can add authors, and I can add categories as well. Okay, so I hope we are all together with that. So that covers a screenshot, renaming, moving. Please know how to do your shortcuts. Okay, how to create a shortcut. So you can see I can just right click in here, new shortcut. Most of the time, when they ask you to do this, it will be to something that's already in this list here. So here, for example, I can do it to eSword. I can click on this, click OK, click Next, finish, and there I have a shortcut created. They can say to you, create a shortcut to any app on your device. That means you can create it to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever application or program is there, you can then do that too. Okay, so that's our shortcuts. We've added a column, tags, date modified. Okay, we've done that. So that covers section A. Okay, let me know in the comments, are we all together on section A? Let me know. So I can see if you're actually with me here. Okay, Lunico saying yes, sir. Okay, here we go. These people are alive. Okay, I see Mr. Van Eck is also watching, so he's telling me it's not showing the right clicks. Okay, so I'll have to share the entire screen then. Okay, so Kyle, the way we're going to take a screenshot, simple way is just by pressing print screen on the keyboard. So let me see if I do it this way. And I'm just going to share. Let's see if I do the entire screen here now. Okay, that doesn't look great. Okay, so over there, you see if I go print screen, or if you want to go to the snipping tool, you can go to the snipping tool as well. You can click new and then do the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't matter whichever one you use. Let me see it quickly. Okay, so that thing covers section A. Now we're going to go into Word. Okay, so for this one, I might not need to share that entire screen, and we can just share a particular window. And let's get that underway. All right, so let's open a document here, and let's see what we can do inside this document. Let's share this. Okay, so things we need to know here. Obviously, folks, when we first come in here, we want to make sure that we have checked out our layout tab. Things like the margins, custom margins, okay? Adjusting the margins, top, bottom, left, right, cutter positions, all of those things. The orientation as well, the size as well, okay? Those are things that you do first before you do anything else. Now, you can see here we've got our column breaks and things. We'll come back to that. So that's just opening our document, checking our orientation, making sure everything is okay. Our ruler's displayed, the whole works, everything is there. The next thing we want to check is our header and our footer. So I'm just going to go to the second page here. When I click in this top section, you can see I've got my section for my header and I've got a section for my footer. Okay. So a lot of the times they can ask you to, in the header, put in some information. Now, you in grade 11, they're not going to ask you just to type out things anymore. So over here, this insert section, you can be asked to insert the date and time. You can be asked to insert the document info. So if they ask you, for example, to insert the file path or the name of the actual document with the whole path, there it is, your file path. You click on it, there it enters, just like that. Okay, so those things are up here. Your page numbers at the bottom, please, people. The one that comes up every single time is the bottom of the page X of Y. Okay, that is one that just keeps coming up over and over, and it's only because people keep getting it wrong. Okay, Chelsea, yes, you can use the snipping tool. Okay, so that is our header and our footer. Now, our styles. Please, when it comes to your styles, I'm just going to go to a paragraph. Okay, maybe this is not the document for that. Let's use another one. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this one can work. This one can work. Okay, so here you can see, here's another document. And please just remember that you are going to be asked to do paragraph formatting. So formatting, that's just for the paragraph. Maybe they want you to shade the paragraph. Okay, maybe they want you to take that paragraph and they want to add borders, just to the top or borders to the bottom. We go to our borders and shading, and I can say, okay, I want a red border. I want it to be a thick border, and I only want it at the top and at the bottom. Apply it to the paragraph, click OK, and there we go. All right. My styles are here as well. Please know how to apply a style and how to modify a style. So here is a paragraph of text. No, man. And all I'm going to do is I'm now going to modify my heading. Going to modify my heading. And I'm maybe going to change it to yellow. I'm going to make it bold, italic. I'm going to make it a different size. Guys, I can add so much to this, and I'm going to click OK. Now I can highlight that paragraph, and I can apply the style. Okay, I hope you are seeing that. Okay, so you can't see the text boxes, but can you see the result? Okay, listen to the question. Can you see the result of me doing this? Okay, so you can see the result, but the other things are not popping up. Okay, then I have no choice. Then I have to do this now. I'm just going to share the entire screen. That's the only way, so that it captures everything. So I won't be able to see your comments then, because it's going to look horrible up on the screen here. Okay, so there we go. So please, I hope this is coming through now. There we can see how to go to our styles. This was where I went to with the borders and shading. Okay. Just let me know if that is coming up. Okay, so that's fine. Sorry, I've got Mr. Van Eck on the side here. Just telling me what's working and what's not. Okay, so our styles are fine. Please, also here, also our line spacing and our line spacing options, our indents. Okay, please remember, you've got your indents, but you've also got your first line indent and your hanging indent. All right, you've got your spacing before a paragraph and after a paragraph. And if they want, this pertains to the spacing inside of a paragraph. So please know which one to choose. Okay, so styles are done. Paragraphs are done. Now, we can get asked to insert an image. Now, inserting an image isn't an issue. Here's an image, but why is it moving like this? Okay, if I go to picture format and I go wrap text, okay, if you insert a picture, please just go to wrap text. Please choose the option. They will tell you which one to choose, and they'll usually give you a picture of what it should look like as well. So if I resize this and I say I want it in the middle of my paragraph, or maybe I want it square so that the text can actually sort of go around it. Obviously, it'll just have to be smaller in order for it to do that. But these are the things you can do. It's your wrap text. Others might ask you for the position. You can see how that changes things as well. Okay, so most of the detail will be in the question itself. All right. Then you can be asked in Word to convert a paragraph list to a table. In other words, taking our text and changing that into a table. Okay, here's another picture, and you can see, because we've used that, how we can actually move that around. Okay, I just want to see if there is a list here. It's not really this that I want, but I can use this convert text to table, number of columns. Going to click OK, and there you can see it's converted my text to a table. Okay, that is something typical that you can be asked. Right. Okay, then also let's just look at a table quickly. Let me just remove this here. So while I've got you here now, let me just increase the size. So I've got my table here. Please remember you've got table design and table layout. So with table design, I can go and change obviously the design of the particular table. With table layout, I can merge cells, I can split things, I can change the alignment as well. I can sort. Very important. Very important. I can sort. I can say, well, I want to sort it by Vista over here. The type is text, ascending, and I can click OK, and you can see there it changed things. Okay, so please be aware of that. Also with your table, you know you can get a formula, right? So let's say I'm going to insert a row below and I want a total in there. I'm going to go click on formula, equal sum above. You can get things like equal average above. Doesn't matter. You can get any of those. Okay. Right. So that's sorted. Okay. I'm glad you can all see it now. Right. Let's move on. So we've got that sorted. Reference. Okay. So just don't forget this. Yeah, I've got an image. Okay. So with my references, I've got what we call captions. Please don't forget this. It's like that figure, you know, that figure 1.1, things like that. So I'm just going to put in here hands as a caption. And I'm going to click OK. Right? So I've added a caption to this. Now, where that usually plays a role is where they want us to insert a table of figures. So let's say I didn't have a table of figures here. Then all I would do is, do you see here? Table of figures. They'll tell you what they want you to choose. You click OK. There's your table of figures done. So your captions and your table of figures go together, right? Please don't forget that. Those two go together. Then inserting a table of contents. Like here's nothing. We've got table of contents, our references tab, table of contents, and please just go through this. Go even to your custom table of contents, see what options they're giving you, and take it from there. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on these things. There you can see I've inserted one. All right, the big thing we do want to just touch on now with Word is mail merge. So please remember now, and let's just see if I close this. And see if they have one here for me. Okay. So here we have our mail merge. I'm just going to say that they want this helper. Now, how do we start our mail merge? We're going to go mailings, start mail merge. Let's say letters, because I'm just using any document now. Select recipients. You're going to have to use an existing list, and you'll have to go and navigate for that particular document. So let's see if I can find this now. Wherever I was. Oh, I think I know where I was. No. Where was I now? Let's see which folder is open here. Oh, it's that one. All right. Let's go and get that from the desktop. There we go. And I'm just going to use this database. So there you can see it pulls that in. I'm going to click OK. Now I can go and say insert merge field. and I can put the learner there. I'm going to preview my results to make sure it works, and then I'm going to go finish and merge. And please don't forget that once you finish and merge, if I say edit individual documents, I click OK. Please look at this. There's 2 documents. Okay. This is the original one. This is the merged one. So I've now got to save this as a particular name, whatever they wanted to, inside of my folder. Okay. Please, please, please do not forget that. All right. And that brings Word to an end. So that's Word. Okay. Excel, guys, you're going to have to go through the basic formatting. Let's open this one. Okay, this is a pie chart. Please just, you don't need to know anything major, just your basics there. Okay. So, freeze panes, remember, if I click on a particular row, right? I click on a particular row and I now want to do my freeze panes. I go to view and I say freeze panes and I just click on freeze panes. Then what it does is it's going to freeze the 2 rows above that. So whatever rows there are above that. So if I click here on row 10 and I go freeze panes, okay, I must unfreeze it and then freeze it again. You'll see it keeps the first 9 rows intact. I can do it with the columns as well. I can go to column D. I can say freeze panes. Sorry, freeze first column. And it's going to allow me to do the same there as well. Okay, so please just bear that in mind. So freeze panes. Also, don't forget on your home tab here in the number, whether the output must be percentage or currency or date. Please just go and do that there. Okay. Sometimes you might need to sort out the date as well. So please, when dealing with the date, if I said now the 5th of April 2010, and I want to go and change that, we can right click. I'm going to go to format cells, and there with my date, I can change things there. If I want a custom date, I can click on custom and go and type in there whatever I need. Remember, it's going to be your DD is for your date, your M's are for your month. So 4 M's is the complete month, and then your years as well. Okay. The only 3 major formulas is your if statement, your count if, and your sum if. Okay. So remember, with your count if and your sum if, you must have a criteria. So I did this earlier today. They were asking here for us to look at the classes, get the grade 11s, and count the amounts. So I'm just going to go to my formulas, insert function, and I'm going to choose a sum if. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, well, what range? Because I need to look at the grade 11s. So I'm going to highlight. I'm just highlighting this for the purpose of this exercise. My criteria is going to be what? 11. Now bear with me. And then my sum range is going to be these figures here. Sorry, didn't click in that one. Okay, let's do that again. Insert function, sum if. Got my range, got my criteria, and then my sum range. Okay. But when I do that, I get 0. Okay. The reason for that is if you look at class over here, can you see it's not just grade 11? It's saying like 11C. Okay. Can you see that, right? 11C, 11A. So what I have to do is I have to put an asterisk after the 11, which means it's 11 plus whatever else is after that. So I put in my asterisk. I then put that whole thing in inverted commas. So it's going to be inverted comma 11 asterisk inverted comma. And now I get my answer. Okay, so please sum if and count if. I'm sure we know count if by now. We know if statement. Okay, so things like average, max, min, today. Please remember our formula for the date. Can you see there? Look at the difference. Today gives me today's date. Now gives me the date and time. Okay? Date and time. Right. Okay, I've done that. I'm just looking at everything, guys. Remember, inserting charts. Okay, look at this question. This was from 2023, I think, where you needed to take the chart and you needed to do this to it. So here's some data, and I'm just going to highlight that. I'm going to go insert. I can go to my recommended charts. They give me a few, and I can just click on any one of those depending on what they want. And there's my chart. So you just need to know how to insert a chart and then to modify everything else. So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste this onto a new worksheet. And folks, you can see here I've got chart titles that I can change. I can put it in, I can take it off. I've got labels. I can do a data call out. I can change my legend as well. And up here you've got your chart design. Right? You've got your chart design, you've got your format as well. So you just need to know where these things are and how to actually apply them based on the instruction. Like, I can't tell you exactly what's going to be there, but focus on being able to put in that chart, look at the titles, the label, the legend, those type of things. The call out that I did, the call out is important. Inserting the file name as a header. So where do I go and do that? Right, I've got to go here to my, I can go to my page layout view. And what I'm looking for is my header. And you can see here, chart design, format, header and footer. There I can decide what I actually want in my header. Okay. So that all depends on what you actually, or what they've asked you to do. Okay. We've got our footer here as well. And there you can see, I can also put in the file path. I can put in the file name, all of that. And when I go back out there, you can see it's all there. Okay. So that's that for Excel. One or two other things. So something that can come up is to sort. Please remember, when you're highlighting and you're selecting things and you've got to go to your sort and filter, you'll most likely be asked to do a custom sort. So make sure you know which column you are sorting on, what you are wanting to sort, and what order as well. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only only other thing I wanted to say. Building blocks, please. Building blocks are vitally important. Okay. Reason being, if you are not sure of the entire formula, you can go and put parts of that into the building blocks and still get marks. Okay. Then in the cell over here, you can just refer to that building block. So please keep that in mind. All right. Let me just take that away quickly and just ask, okay. So before I move on, any other questions on Excel? Because I think Word we're fine with, and the file management we're fine with. It's this one. When we talk about that data call out, it's this over here. So here we go. We go to our data label, and then we've got our data call out, and that's what it does. Okay, so I hope that helps that. we've got that sorted out. Okay. Anything else on Excel so I can move on then to Access? Okay, are we all together so far? Grade 11s, talk to me. Are we all together so far? Let me know in the comments. Let me just turn this off. Okay, Emily, thank you. You think so? All good, all good, all good, all good. Yeah, Zenande, just be careful with the percentage, because if you do your formula with the whole percentage and then you still go to the top to say, percentage, it's going to multiply it by 100 again. So just do your formula and then change it to percentage on top. So let me just give you an example here quickly. Just delete this and share again. Okay, so there we go. Let's say I've got a mark. Let's say this is what you got for RE. When you wrote RE, you got 24 out of 80. Okay, so we want to convert that to a percentage. So now I say, okay, well, the formula is to take whatever's in this cell and divide it by 80. Okay, so that gives me that answer. Now, if I go and say, all right, so I'm going to multiply that now by 100, I end up getting 30, and I'm like, okay, so let's just go and put percentage. And I'm like, oh, what's this now? Why am I getting 3,000%? It's because you add this multiplied by 100. So we take that out, and there you can see I'll now get 30%. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Sorted. Declan, the building blocks is basically just a section on the spreadsheet where, let's say they want you to do a round average and you're not sure. So you want to do the round alone and the average alone. Then in that section, you can do it there. And then you can just refer to that in your main area wherever they want you to put the answer. They allow you that even in grade 12. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's go to Access. Why is Lincoln crying? Like, can anyone help him? Hey, yeah, Emily, tell him. Aibo. No, man. Right, section D. No problem, Declan. I know you're going to give it your best. Okay. Section D is Access. He doesn't want my help. You can go watch a video. It's fine. Okay. So let's get into Access now. And let me open a database. Yeah. Now, please, people, take note of what I'm going to do now. Okay. Let me just share my screen. No, Gemma. No. It's okay. We'll be fine. Right, so here we go. I mean, this is why I'm doing the live, guys. Here we go. Revo, stop. It's okay. Okay, so here we go. Access. Now, first things first, when you open up Access, if there's a yellow bar here on top, if we have a yellow bar that says Enable Editing, you need to click on that. Okay? It's going to be a problem if you don't click on that thing. Right. So let's open up tables. We've got tables. We've got arts and culture. Right. That is our data sheet view, people. That is where the data is entered. So please bear in mind, they'll tell you whether they want you to work in datasheet view or whether they want you to work in design view. Most of your work is going to be here in design view. Now remember, I'm working in a table. So we want to look at the things that we can do in our tables. The first thing, one of the first things is to set primary keys. So you can see here, I can just click on a particular item here and I can say, okay, listen, I want to set this as a primary key. Done. All right. I think this thing is actually open somewhere else. Okay, design view. Now I see it's opening as read only now. Okay, there we go. There's one. So let's say I'm going to make class and I'm going to make it the primary key. And can you see, just to make it a primary key, what am I going to do? I'm just clicking on it. Click on it, primary key, done. Okay, primary key, done. Then what's important here is changing the data types. And over here at the bottom, your properties. So for each data type, you're going to have different properties. Now, people, I said to you things like changing the field size. Like here, I'm changing it from 255 to maybe 68. We've got our input mask as well. Now, remember, our input mask, they're going to give you a sheet that's got everything with the input mask. You just have to know how to put it in there. What does that input mask do? It means that when I put in an L or a 0, that's indicating they must enter a letter or a number or whatever the case is, right? My default value, that if I put something in there, it means that even if I don't enter anything for the entire row, this must still display. So whether you put in an M, whether they tell you to put in a 0 or 1, doesn't matter. It's all there. The next one under that is your validation rule and text and required. And folks, I've gone through this already. So I can put, for example, in, and I'm going to pop in here, gender, and I'm just going to leave it as short text. I'm going to put in a validation rule to say M or F. And then underneath it, what must display if that is not met. So if the person enters anything else, then a message must pop up. Male or female only. Okay, done. So please, you must know how to change the field size. You must know your validation rule and text, your primary key, and your input mask. Okay. Mr. Van Eck is sending me weird messages here. No. All right. Then you're required. Your required means that the person must enter something in that field. Okay? Are we together? Right? They must. Okay, so those are the basics as far as your table is concerned. Now, let's close this and let's go to a query because there are a few things you need to take note of. And let's see, here's a query here. I'm going to go to the design view. So there we are. Now, first things first. You can get a query that says to you that you should actually have another field in it. Okay. So this one, for example, has learner and it has date of birth. Now they say to you, they want you to add home language to this. So if I go here, you see my first field, my second field. If I click in my third field, can you see here? Please remember the following. Your query is based off of the table. So even though you only selected maybe one or two items from the table, you still have access to all the fields in the table that it's based off of. So I can go here and I can say, okay, home language. I want to add home language as well. Now when I run my query, I've got learner, date of birth, and home language. Okay, so that's the first thing. Secondly, and I know this was a question here, with home language, obviously here I can go and sort it, I can show it, all of that. The criteria is probably the most important thing here. Let's see if I can zoom in. No. If I want a number between 10 and 20, in my criteria, you're going to type in between 10 and 20. You must type it out like that. I'm actually going to put that. Yes. So, Chloe, you're going to put in between 10 and 20. Okay. Now, I know you're talking about the validation rule, so that's what you'll put in there as well. Then, if they say to you, and just look at this. Kyle and myself and Shani, we were doing this today, going through this paper. You've got all these home languages. Now, they tell you exclude one. Exclude English, for example. Then what I'm going to do is, why am I doing this? I'm going to go back into my design view, and I'm going to use my less than and greater than, and then I'm going to type in English. I'm going to run my query, and now it will exclude that. So please, when you want to exclude, yeah, we struggle, but we got it right. We'll get there. Let me put it in here. To exclude, you are going to do that, and I'm just going to put in English. Okay, so that's how you exclude an item. Also, here's another one. With percentages, we found this out. We were playing around with this today, and let me use average over here. They wanted 80%. Okay, so if I say greater than 80%, it's going to give me a problem. However, if I put in 0.8, sorry, 0.8, and I run it, I get my 80% or greater than 80%. So let me put in here also percentage. You got to put it in a decimal format. Okay, so excluding the value. Here's one. Here's one. Okay, we know how to do that. Sorry, I'm just double checking everything, folks. Just checking everything. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to learner names. Now, let's say I'm looking for a particular learner. I'm not sure of the learner's full name, but I know it starts with ST. Then I'm going to type in like, and I'm going to open up my inverted commas, and I'm going to go ST and then a little asterisk, and then my inverted commas again. Remember, like I did previously? Okay, same story here. And so when I run it, it's going to bring up all the learners whose names start with ST. So if you want that, you got to say like ST and then the asterisk. If it must end with ST, you're not sure what it started with, then you use your asterisk before that. Okay, let's see here. Surf of the table, how do we make some names appear like they only want names, name and age to appear? Okay, so if they only want name and age, you take the tick out of show. So you can still have your criteria and everything, but now it will only show those. You are not deleting it. You're just not displaying it. That's all. Okay. Right. So that's done. Okay. So queries finished. We're almost there. We're almost there. Let's look at the form. I just want to make sure. Just be patient with me, grade 11s. Just be patient. I made a lot of notes on these things. So I just want to be sure that we are and have covered everything we needed to. Okay, so here you can see your HTML tag sheet, right, for HTML, and your tags for your input mask as well. Okay, that is typical. You must get that. Okay, let's move on. Our forms. Please, when it comes to creating your query, your form, and your report, please remember to go up to the Create tab. And then you're going to use a query wizard, you're going to use a form wizard, you're going to use a report wizard. Those are the things you're going to use. So if I want to create a form, I'm going to click on, I'm not saving any of this. Fine. I'm going to go create form wizard. Oh, really? And I'm going to base it on table arts and culture. I'm going to pull all of that in. Next. You only change these things if they ask you to. Okay? Next, finish, and there I've got my form. Right? So creating the form is one thing. From there, you need to be able to modify things in your design. And most of the time, folks, it's going to be like changing the color of the header here. It might be moving the text box around over here. In your detail, I might have to, I think in this one, they wanted you to enlarge that border, things like that. Okay. Open the footer area here. Let's maybe change the color as well. These are all basic things that they can ask you to do. Okay, when you do these things, go change your view, and there you can see these changes I've already made. Keenan, which exclude part now? Just let me know which part of that. All right. So with our form, I think there's just really two things. Okay, we spoke about the heading, we spoke about the color. You can change these tabs as well, right? Remember, you are now in your design view. You can go and change these tabs wherever you want them. If you want to, move them around, you can do that. That's also something you're going to have to do. I'm just thinking what else. Yes, another. Oh, yes. Here's another one that comes up every now and then as well. It's adding a button. So I'm just going to add it to the form footer. Up here in your controls, you've got different options. You'll see there you've got a text box, you've got a label, and please know the difference between your text box and label, and then you've got a button. So a button can do something. So you can see I just click on button, I'm going to drag it in the form footer, and then it asks me what do I want it to do. Do I want it to find the record, go to the record? And you can see I can choose a number of things here. Let's go with add a new record. I'm going to click next, finish, done. Now when I go over here to my normal view, click on that, and the button is going to create a new record for me. Okay, so Chelsea, the difference between your text box and your label is this. I'm having issues with this thing tonight. Okay. So if I go into my form footer and I go form design, have a look at this. When I choose a text box and I drag it, do you see that it creates a label and an area for me to type something in, right? So I can change the label to whatever I want, and I can pop some text in here. When I change my view, you see what happens. The label, I can't edit it, but this text over here, I can. Okay, so your text box will come with two items, your label and a text box. If I just add a label and I go back, what's going to happen is it's just going to give me whatever I've typed in, and I can't edit that unless I go back in there. So that's the difference between my label and that. In the queries. So remember now, Keenan, when it came to my queries, and I wanted to exclude, it was that. Okay, so again, I'm going to type it in again. To exclude, we use the greater than, the less than, and greater than. Okay. We've done our queries. Our report. Okay, so we've been given a report here. And please, I don't think you're really going to be asked to create one, but if you are asked to create one, again, create. We're going to go report was, no man, this is getting, let me just find another one, because really, I've got way too many things open here, so let me just go find one quickly. Okay, so that'll be fine. I can definitely use that one. You'll probably be given a report and be asked to create a report. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go through, creating the report as well. Okay, so there you go. Here's a database, and I'm going to go up to create. I'm going to go to report wizard, and I'm going to take everything. Now, this is the important bit. When you create a table, a report, please bear the following in mind. They can ask you to group it. So I'm going to group it in terms of grade, and I'm going to leave it there. I can sort it according to surname, but you only do this if they ask you to. Finish, done. I now have my report. Okay, so there's my report, and you can see all of it there. Now again, I'm going to go into design view. Can you see it's very similar to what I did in my form? Okay, so I would suggest the first thing you do, just get into it, open everything up a bit, make sure you can see everything you need to work in. Guys, changing the color and things like that is exactly the same as we did it in our form. So what do we really need to know here? If I say to you, I want you to add your name and surname to the footer. For that, you're going to need a label. So I'm going to go into my footer, go up here, label, and pop in there Mr. Hambury. Change the view, and all the way at the bottom, there I'll have, and you can see I can't edit it, but it's there in the footer. That's the purpose of my label. Okay. So let's go back. So you need to be able to do that. They might also ask you, just want to see some of the other options that we have here. Oh, alternate row color is something that comes up as well. Okay, so please know that as well. We can have a background image. You can arrange. Yeah, let's say I want to click on all of my fields over there. Then I can align them. I can sort them out in terms of size, grid, whatever I want. I can change the margins. I can do all those things. Okay. I'm telling you this so that you go and practice this. The last thing when it comes to Access and our reports is our calculations. And I know you don't want to hear that. I know you don't want to hear that. But this is what you're going to have to do. For that, again, we're just going to go, usually it's in the footer. So we're going to go into our footer and we're going to go pop in a text box. And why? Because on the one hand, you're going to tell me what the formula is. Maybe it was supposed to be a total, some sort of total, right? Then in here, you'll go and type out the formula. So please remember you are in Access. So when you refer to a field, when you want to sum a field, so I'm going to go equals and I'm going to go sum. When I refer to a field, I must use the square brackets, right? So I'm still going to use Excel language like equal sum and my open and close brackets, but inside there, let's say I want to sum whatever is in the name field. Then I'm going to type it as is with those square brackets around it. So people, if you need to do an average, if you need to do a sum, anything like that, this is how you are going to do it. All right. And I can tell you now, you will get at least a sum and an average formula that you'll have to enter. So go practice that. Now, having said that, look at this. I want you just to bear in mind, once you've done that, you get a property sheet here as well. And in your property sheet, this is where you can go and make sure that whatever figure is there displays as currency. I'm telling you this because if you're asked to do a sum and you put in your formula and they tell you display it as currency, this is where you go and do it. Okay? So this is where you go and do it. No. We're only doing practice evening. The theory is done. We have done a video on that, so you can go and check that out. Okay. And folks, I think that's it for that. As far as HTML is concerned, and maybe let me just ask first. Thank you, Chloe. Right. So, guys, anything else on Access? Because now we've covered Word, Excel, Access, the file management. We've covered all of that. Let me know if we're done with that now. Okay. Allegro, then what you want to do, you want to go to the channel, you want to check out the theory video. I've got a theory prep video and a live that I did with the theory. Go and check that out. Go through those videos. There's past papers in the description. Sorted. Ask my grade 11s here. Ask my grade 11s here. It will sort you out. Okay. Grade 11s, are we fine with all of that? Talk to me. Yes, I need to just check that link for the readiness guide because I did have it here earlier. Let me actually just go to the channel again and just get that link of the last video. And then we know that's done. Just a practical. Sorry guys, I'm just double checking this quickly. Okay, so that's the grade 10 one. Okay, so that's the video. Okay, So I'm going to give you the link in the comments here. Use this one. Use this one. No, I'm not going to put it on the group, Emily. You know why? Because there's a certain individual here who knows who he is, Kyle. Doesn't check out the description or anything, and then asks me where it is. So, okay. So the link is there. The link is there. All right. So HTML. Let me ask this. What is it you want me to go through? And please just answer me in the comments now, so I know exactly what to touch on, so we can wrap up everything. Are we okay with adding the title in the tab on top? Are we okay with doing that? Let me see in the comments, and I want you all to comment, please, because I need to see. Are we okay with adding the title? Yeah, man. Okay, so all right, okay. I suppose that's why we okay. And let's go entire screen. Okay. Jim, I hope I'm not keeping you guys out to sleep. He says, laughing. Okay. So there I've got some coding, and please remember you're going to get one file. You're going to get one file. Okay. So let's just go through this quickly. You are going to get one file. You got to open up your coding with a 1. Then you're going to go back and you're going to right click and say open with, and then go and choose Notepad. Okay, I've already got edit in Notepad, so I can open up Notepad there. All right. So now I've got my coding on the one side, and I've got my HTML on the other. Okay. So folks over here, yeah, they tell me, and I can see it already. Please, when you see these are comments. You don't modify that. You do not modify that. Now they tell me they want open date to be the title. Now, at the moment, it's just saying 5intranet.html. So if I want that to be the title, remember, I need to look at my structure first. And my structure is supposed to be HTML, then head, then title. Then whatever I want, let's say I want my website. I'm going to close my title tag, and I'm going to close my head tag. And so now when I go file, save, refresh, there my title changes. Okay, so you must know how to do that. Okay, let's go. Next one, you need to know how to change the background color. Now here I want to show you something. Please remember we are dealing with that American English, so it's color. BG color equals. Now we can have blue, right? And this is just changing the background color. But they could ask you to put in a code instead of the actual words. So I'm just going to use one that I have here as an example. Okay, can you see it still changes? So nothing changes here except the code. So if they give you the word, like change it to blue or change it to, and they give you that code, it's exactly the same thing, right? Still the same thing. Then open day 2023. Maybe they want you to make that a heading, and I'm only going through the things that are important for you. Don't forget your heading tags. Please remember, whatever tag you open must be closed except the self-closing tags. So there, my H1 done. It's a main heading. The only real self-closing tags that you're going to get, folks, is your HR and your BR. Okay? Sorry, let me just get a sip of water quickly. So HR and BR. Okay, let me know quickly. Are we all together so far? These are just the basic things. Okay, I'm listening. I'm checking the comments. Are we together? We've looked at the title. We've looked at the background color. We've looked at the headings. Are you all okay? Yes. Yes, Chloe, there will be a tag sheet. There will be a tag sheet. All right. So far you're okay. Jordan, you'll be okay, man. What is that profile picture? Okay. Lovely. Sure. I haven't live streamed this long for a while. Okay. Let's go. Let's go back here. Right. So the next thing we need to look at, there are obviously normal formatting items, things like making something, let's go here to bolder high, making it underline. And again, you will get all these tags. You just need to know what to do with them. So there, I'm just making bolder high, underline. I can go in center, for example, here, volunteers. I can add a line equals center. Should do that. Yeah, popping it to the center. So you see those sort of formatting things. That's fine. Okay. So we formatted that, center aligned. Now, here's one. You see this here at the bottom. The list. Please, people, you must know how to do a list. And you can see here is my list. So what's wrong with this? Can you see that this is a UL and this is a OL? Okay. So it's supposed to be either both UL or both OL. So what's the difference? When I use ULs, that's an unordered list, which means it's going to be a bulleted list. The minute I change that and I use OL, what's going to happen? It's going to change that to an ordered list. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. All right. Please remember, for each item, you must open and close the LI tags. You must do that. So I can give you a list of items and say to you, and let's maybe do that. Let's do that. Let's put in here cars, houses, land, sea. And I say to you, take those 4 items. Take those 4 items and turn it into a bulleted list. So what am I going to do? I'm going to open up my UL tag. I'm going to go after this, after that list, and I'm going to close my UL tag. So I know now all of this I want to turn into a bulleted list. How do I do that? So just to make it look nice, for no other reason, I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to go LI, my list item. And what am I going to do? I'm going to copy and paste, paste, paste. I'm going to close each one. And again, I'm going to copy, paste, paste, paste. File, save, refresh, And there we go. Within the space of 2 minutes or less, I've got a bulleted list of items. Okay, I'm going to, don't worry, I'm going to get there. Let's keep going. Okay, so let's just quickly do this. The last two items is basically hyperlinks and images. So here they've already got an image, well, image tag at least, and they want me to insert an image. So please remember, I'm doing this so you can see this very clearly, people. I want to make this as clear as I possibly can. When we deal with our images, we're going to go without tag img. Okay, we're then going to add an attribute src equals. src equals, and let's say it's .jpg. Whoa, jpg. So I want to add in an image. Where's the image located? Source equals .jpg, and then I'm going to close that tag. Okay, I hope we are together there. So let's look at what they want us to do here. They want us to add in an image. Now they've already got the img tag. So I'm going to go space. I'm going to go src equals, and then I need to go and find an image. So the image here is 5register.jpg. So 5register.jpg, and that should be closed. Let's see if this is the correct one. And there we go. There we go. Okay. Now, bear the following in mind. I'm going to go to this one. Images. And I'm going to take 5register, and I'm going to move it into images. So what's going to happen now? When I go file, save, refresh, my image is not going to work. Why? Because it's somewhere else. So what do I need to say here? All I need to change is just to say images / to say that it's in that folder, and there it's back. Okay, so that's how you add an image. Normally, if the image is in the same folder as the coding, and if it's not in the same folder as the coding. Okay, does that help? Thank you. Okay, so that sorts us out there. And then, so that's the image. And then the last thing, folks, is the hyperlink. So I just want to see in my folder, did they give me another website? No. Okay, I'll just link to the same one. So let's go back here. How do I put in a hyperlink? My hyperlink is the A tag, right? And it closes like that. The attribute that I use is href, in other words, hyperlink reference. What is the hyperlink reference? And I'm going to go to my folder here, 5intranet.html. So 5intranet.html. Okay, so that's what I should have. Okay, so let's go and apply it. But what we need to do is we need to indicate where we actually want it to be. So let's say I'm going to go to this, click here to view. So let's go and find it here. And all I'm going to do is this. open up my A, href equals 5, what is it, intranet.html, and close that there. Click here to view, and then I'm going to close my A tag. Sorry, my bad. There's another part to this. Whatever's going to be in here, so if you put like click, then you need to close your A tag. Okay, so this is the part that people will click on and it will take them to this. So there you see A href 5 intranet.html. Click here to view, and I'm closing the A tag. File, save, refresh. Can you see how that changes? See how that changes? Now when I click on there, it takes me to this site. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay. Any other questions? Yes, all those attributes will be on that tag sheet. So where's that thing? I had that thing. Yeah, everything is here. Everything is here. It's a long tag sheet. So yes, Chloe, just to let you know, like you've got head, title, body, heading, paragraph, breaks, horizontal line, center, comments, bold, italic, underline, link. So they give you the A with the href, the image, ordered list, unordered list. They give you all of that. All right, grade 11s. What else is there? Is that it? I think that covers everything. So you just need to go and practice that. I've put the link in for the exam readiness guide as well. You now have everything you need for tomorrow. Everything. And this is where we wrap up CAT for 2025. Thank you for everything for the year. I hope we are good to go, well prepared. I think really we've done as much as we possibly can. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow for your exam. All the best. Have some rest. Get up early. Prepare. And let's knock out that CAT prac exam tomorrow. All right. See you then. Bye.